It's Tuesday, June 1st, 2021, 5:11 a.m. This is first day live trading. Also, first day back after the Memorial Day weekend, so price is definitely opening up above range from Friday and above value. So a lot of interesting things going on here. We are well above and have broken above the trading range of, and also broken above the highs from back in March 4th. So the 68 area here, we've poked up above this area. So now this is an area that we're going to want to see if we're going to hold above here. And then we have a lot of room now to go much higher, where we really haven't been up into this price in above these highs from March since 2018. So this is really old price now above here. So now we'll be watching to see what happens above here. Are we going to hold this 68 area, or are we going to fail these highs and come back down? So expectation would be, if we hold this area, we can definitely move much higher up into a larger expansion move to see if oil moves up into these $70 prices, 70. And I have some of these untested bar lows from years ago, so this is very old price action, but the 68, 50, 70, and then 73, there's room up there. So we'll be watching. Expectation from the 15-minute would be we had a failure here of these bar highs and the overnight high here at 68.43, and we failed back down. So we either fail this price, this balance area, and come back down to test yesterday's value area high here, the range from yesterday. But Friday's going to be definitely much more important. Yesterday's range here at the 67.53, the value area high, because this is all very light volume. So I'm feeling really good about where I'm at trading. Obviously a little bit nervous and trying not to have any expectations, not trying to psych myself out and think that I have any other concepts of doing anything different than what I've been doing on demo than with live, because it can't be any different. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. My numbers have been fairly consistent, so I just need to execute my edge, continue to take the setups that I see and identify and the numbers and let the probabilities play out. So it's great. I'm feeling good. I need to move forward though. It's easy for me to say, oh, things are going well on demo, I'm positive, and I'll just keep continuing to work on my edge and solidify that. But I need to get the real risk on and see how that plays out and go from there, because that's really what I'm here to do. I'm here to make money, and I'm here to continue to trade on a real live account and see if I can really make it happen. And I mean, I know I can. It's just not psyching myself out and not getting ahead of myself into where I can remain in a positive state of mind and continue to do well. So it was a good weekend. I had a good time. I was up in Blackhawk playing cards a lot, so got a good night's sleep for the most part and ready to get back at it. So where's price at, and where is price likely to go when we're looking at the 1 minute? This overnight range here is kind of forming this balance area from 68.08 up to kind of this high in the 68.30, 40 area. Our most accepted price is the point of control here at 68.20, where we're currently trading. So not real excited about jumping in a trade either way, but I'm looking at all of this area here as balance. So really this range from here to here. So this is accepted price. And then looking at previous days, we have this value here. So we're kind of in between here. And then this is somewhat thinly traded, unfair price. We see we kind of moved up through here. moved up, imbalance higher again, and come down all the way down into here. So at this point, I am really going to want to be watching. Now we have this smaller structure in here, this balance area. If we can fail these lows, are we going to fall back down and then test this swing low? Or are we going to fail this low here in this micro composite here, looking to test and take out? We have this high tick here, so this would be the first area to watch and take out, but then we have these highs here, this high here, this high here, and then all the way up into this. This is the key area, the 68.38 or 68.40 area, to come out and take out this overnight high. So if that can happen, we have some nice room here to the upside, or we are going to fall back down into this area, come back down, and then test the upper side of range here, and then possibly working. The next big area would be this 67.36, which is a nice downside target as well. But this value area, we need to get through that, and then we can see in this profile, this thinly traded area, and back down into this VPOC as well. I'm trying to get a long trade here at 68.14, and I don't understand why I didn't get a fill. I don't know if there's an issue with order routing or with the platform or something, but price sat here and traded, plenty of contracts for me to get filled, I thought, it seemed like. So I don't know if I need to look into what's going on here with Sierra, but that's super disappointing because it sat here and traded around at price, and right after this imbalance push higher here, and I didn't get filled. We can see 50 contracts traded here, and there wasn't even that much in the book, so I don't know what happened there. So what my expectation of price would be to go up and test this high tick here at 68.38. So that would have been about a 24-25 tick target. Testing these highs here to take out this liquidity to the left here is likely. Price definitely could come back down, 68.19 here, but expectation would be to hold these highs. And anywhere in here in this structure. We're also pushing above the point of control to come down and likely to test that from above. But it looks like we just may go real frustrating on that trade. I don't know what's going on as far as if it's some kind of order routing issue, if I don't have enough credit on with Sierra to, but when I submitted my order, I didn't have any issues with, there were no errors or anything. And I'm not sure what the deal is with that, so I would have thought if it couldn't execute, I would have had some kind of error. I was tempted to just, when that wasn't filling, to just take market and see if we could get the fill there, but I didn't do that, so it's alright. We'll see what happens here. I've still been trying to looking for a long and considering where do I re-enter on this trade, and I was thinking that if we could get, after this push into the 33, get a failure back down into this area, anywhere in here. The issue with the long trade is that if we come down below here, then space to fill in here down to the 17. So, but there's my 38 target. So that's 24, and very likely now to break these overnight highs. So a little frustrating, to sit here and stare at that and just not get an order fill at the 14 and to be 24 ticks above, trying to stay present and not dwell on that. But again, confused to see the book at 14, there it was down in here. And when I had my order in here, it was, 20, similar here, 20, 25. And then to watch the number bars here when price traded down here and then trade 10, 5, 26, 30, well over that. I don't understand why I didn't get filled. So, but I'm letting it go. So now here we are at the overnight high. For that likely is now to go as well. So now not much really for me to do here. We're kind of in uncharted territories. This is likely to base around here. We're accepting price up here, so this is not a unfair price, showing that this is this previous overnight high is unfair because we're not seeing a strong rejection. We're actually seeing acceptance of price, which to me says that we are likely to go higher, but not really a trade here for me, because we easily could see a retrace down to the 68.33. So not really breakout trading to where I would be comfortable taking this 40 to push higher. Again, with really no structure above, we have no short-term targets above either, so it's hard to say if I bought here, where do I go? Just trying to play a momentum trade here, but easily could see price down to the 33 here, and then also this is trouble for the downside trade. If we do come down here, then we have this structure with trouble above. So again, not much to do here after missing my long at the 14, 15, 16 area. So with the stop being here at 06, anywhere in that 10 tick area, when price didn't get my order at 14, maybe just enter, take 15, just hit that, the offer on that, and take that price at 15 or even 16, and I'm still in that 10 tick range for a reasonable stop. So we've moved all the way up into the 68.70, nearly 55 ticks above where my entry attempt for the long was, and then I just stared at it and was looking at possible retest to this area. Would have been another good long here in the 20. Obviously 50 ticks higher, any price here is great, but always looking to see how I limit my downside risk. And then before the break of this high here at the 68.33, anything in here is pretty valid to go and break these highs. So now what I'm looking at is we've put in some real large volume here at the highs. Sellers coming in here, sellers coming in here, and then the breakdown. I was hoping to get a test back up into this volume and some kind of failure of price here to come down at least, and I would have scalped counter context into the 40 to back into the 45 here. So now I'm looking at, well, what are we going to do here? Are we going to hold this level? This level is also this structure to the left, these old overnight highs. I mean, this is all still overnight high. I need to move this because we're still in the pre-market session here. But are we going to hold this structure here and move higher? Which is definitely possible, but I'm just watching. So we've come down, failed, tested these previous highs here, tested this volume from above. So now this is critical. But for the long trade also, there's some trouble above. We have trouble here. So trading directly into this trouble here is a little dangerous. And then again, trouble and large volume. So we're stuck under this here as well for the long. So a little bit stuck in between a long and a short concept here. So I'm just kind of waiting and watching, and we're about 10 minutes into before the regular session open now. So all right, so I've been on my live session, and so since then I took a long in to break these highs here. So after this high was put in, we had large buying coming in off of these off of the lows. I don't mean off the lows, but anyway, we pulled back to this value area that we talked about before and had the large buying coming in, this demand structure put in, and then we came up, and this area would have been expected to hold up into here too. So we didn't break, hadn't broken this yet, and then we started basing and putting in kind of this little value area, and so this expectation was that we would come up and at least test into this high of day here, and that's exactly what happened. My target was up into the 69 round number. I had it at 98, and then when we came up and pushed up into this high, real large selling came in volume, so I locked in 11. And fortunately, I got something out of that because I was right at my plus 20 here at the 87, and that was the high of the day. And then we came all the way back down to 50, and then so nice to take 10 on that. And then another short attempt here to come back down to test into this area. And ultimately, my goal was to take this down a short into the 31. I didn't get the entry on that, so I missed that one. But now here, I think after this failure of this swing low here, to get in here around the 57, I missed the entry on this one to come up and then to test at least into this high tick here at 83, if not take out that 87 high, and then my target would be that 98. But it is getting a little bit choppy here. I could also see if we fail this area, again, still trying to trade back into this volume where these buyers stepped in. This has been tested. This was the first test into this volume here, and then to come back down to the 31. We'll see if I get that, and it looks like we are kind of failing that now. But being that we're right in value here as well, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. I may just be maybe done for the day, but I mean, this is our 65 area is just our VPOC now, so I don't want to end up just over trading and getting chopped up. Yeah, I've only taken one trade, but I found out what happened on my issue with this long here. My Denali, my NYMEX data wasn't renewed, so I was trading. My chart data was delayed 10 minutes, and I was trying to trade on the Dome on a live account. So obviously I wasn't getting filled because 10 minutes delayed, price had already come up to here. So that's really unfortunate because that cost me about 20-25 ticks. A real nice win on that because I hadn't renewed my data, but it's okay. Missed order fill at 63 after this failure here and the push down. I was looking for my context for shorts was definitely back in play for a trade back down to this 31 area, and we got this high tick here and then this nice imbalance down. Hadn't tested. We tested back down to this volume again, but without breaking these lows, and came back up. Looked like we're either going to hold this 64 area back to the VPOC, and then we got another little imbalance down here, and that's when I tried to get short at the 63 back here to this little minor trouble area, and we just missed it by a tick or two. So and then again, my target would have been to break these, take out these lows of this volume here and come back into the 31. But at 63, anywhere in the 20 tick range back into this volume would have been nice too. A flush here, this 43, these bar lows here, I would have taken that. I'd still be in this trade here, but see how it handles once we flush this 40. And on the number bars, this is also what I liked about this trade. After this imbalance down here on increased volume, we put in this compression bar. So this was really what I was trying to key off of. Trade back to this at the 63 expectation for this to hold, and my stop would have been above this 69 at the 69 here. And you can see it's playing out pretty nicely. So reading the market really well today. Only one trade, unfortunately, and a lot of missed opportunities. My little snafu with the delayed data in the pre-market, and then a couple of missed fills, but just a great day as far as, not a lot of movement as far as we are fairly balanced, but still the auction is pretty orderly and doing what I expect it to do for the most part. So feeling really, really good. First day live, and so trying to not be overly cautious, just trying to trade how I have been doing and executing, because I don't want to trade. I don't want to change my edge. I don't want to be more cautious than I was before, because then all of a sudden that completely changes how I've been trading. So that's not valid. So just trying to keep things consistent and keep doing what I'm doing. But at this point, after this last missed opportunity, I'm guessing I'm going to probably call it a day and look for the next opportunities tomorrow. Too bad to miss that one. And here's that 31 That was a 30 plus tick trade that I didn't quite get, but real close. So seems today I need to be taking my entries a little bit more aggressively, and just missing by 1 or 2 ticks is costing me a tremendous amount of opportunity. And then it didn't even respect that 31, went way through, just pushed right through that down to the 21, and now we're approaching kind of the IB low and back into, we're deep into this value area. So where do we go from here? Looking to take out these lows here, and then the bottom side of this morning value, and we could go even further for sure. All right, I'm taking a long here. I lied about quitting for the day, but man, we saw just this massive amount of volume coming in on this huge move down, and now we took out the overnight low. Now I'm looking for some of this space to be filled back in and trade back up. We'll see. I'm managing the stop real tight just because we had this real big volume come in here, and I'd like to see this structure broken and to fill in some of this thinly traded space, but also good chance that I'm going to get taken out here, but managing it probably a little too tight, but we'll see what happens. I really need this area to hold here, but I could see this coming back down to this 77 area, but 86 is kind of the lower side of this structure and a low volume node here. We could see it obviously come back in and fill in a lot of this space, but if I can take 15 off here, that would be just fine with me. I'll take that. It's a good little win here. Just needs to go just a little bit more, and we're not really seeing any volume coming in here, so let's just see if we need to hold this volume and push up. Otherwise, wouldn't be surprised if this comes back and takes me out. Oh, I just held my stop by a tick, but now we're sitting under this volume here. I'm real tempted now to move my target because we've already tested this area here. So could definitely fill in some of this space, but it's just exactly, where do I put a target here? It's a little bit harder to tell. This has been tested, so we could see all of this space filled in here. But I think I'm just going to take it off at the 86. Definitely likely to go much higher, but I think I'll lock in 10 here, and I just got taken out plus 15, so I can't complain about that. I'm just, being that this is my first day live back, I'm a little hesitant and a little nervous honestly. So I want to have a good day in the books, but I feel like I'm trading well. I feel like I'm really reading the market well. And could I have taken this off, held for a larger target? I mean, this makes a lot of sense here now to hold this upper side of structure, but we also have we had this untested, these bar lows, and this was major bar lows here. But I mean, if we get through this, I could see us moving all the way up into the 68 round number would probably be 67.98 would be a great target for this, but any of this low volume space to get filled in makes sense to me. Just a few thoughts on the recap from earlier. This one, I really almost can put this in the books as a win. I mean, obviously it didn't work. It didn't get a fill, but this was a technical snafu in that, I mean, I had my order in there. It traded my price. If I would have been live on that, it would have been filled, and I also would have gotten my 38 target here. So that's a 24, and then just a few other thoughts on this 62 that I tried to short here. This was not a fill. I mean, it wasn't a real fill, and I had the order placed and could have been a little more aggressive on the entry, and this just would have been another beautiful trade down to the 31. That was probably in front of this bar, in front of this demand here at the 32. So that's another 30. So just could have been a phenomenal day. I mean, it already is a phenomenal day. I'm not going to complain about being up 26. Like I say, my mantra is 20 ticks a day is 480K. So that equates to $500,000 a year. And trading part-time a few hours a day in the morning is not a bad way to go. Poker had a great weekend as well. Had a 5-figure month in May, over 10,000 I made trading or playing cards part-time. So things are going really well. Pretty excited.